December 1st, 1919, Toronto was a bustling metropolis, alive with the noise of streetcars, commerce, and the hum of a growing population. Amid this chaos, one event would quietly reshape the fortune of a man at the height of his career. Ambrose Joseph Small, a prominent theatre magnate, completed the sale of his extensive theatrical empire for an unprecedented $1.7 million. This was a monumental sum in its time, equivalent to over $27 million today. By all accounts, this transaction was meant to solidify Small's legacy as one of Canada's most successful businessmen. However, the ink on the papers that sealed this deal would barely dry before a dark chapter began. The very next day, December 2nd, Ambrose Small was seen alive for the last time. Ambrose Small was born on January 11, 1866 in Newmarket, Ontario, to Daniel Small, an innkeeper, and Ellen Brazel. Raised in modest circumstances, Small's rise to prominence was nothing short of remarkable. By the late 19th century, he had transitioned from a theatrical agent to a theatre owner, acquiring and managing a network of venues across Ontario. By 1902, the year he married Teresa Corman, Ambrose Small had solidified his status as a self-made millionaire. His empire included prominent theatres such as the Grand Opera House in Toronto, the Grand Theatre in London, and the Grand Theatre in Kingston. Known for his sharp business acumen, Small was also a man of contradictions. While he displayed a commanding presence in the business world, he was infamous for indulging in gambling and extramarital affairs, often disappearing for days at a time. This duality would complicate the investigation into his disappearance. Initially, Small's disappearance raised few eyebrows. His penchant for unannounced absences led many, including his wife Teresa, to believe he would return as usual. However, when weeks passed with no word, Teresa reported him missing in January 1920, offering a substantial reward: $50,000 for information leading to his safe return, or $15,000 for proof of his death. Despite the lucrative incentives, no credible leads emerged. Toronto police launched an exhaustive investigation. The Grand Opera House, where Small was last seen, became the focal point. Investigators searched every corner of the building, including a secret room in Small's office, rumored to be a place where he settled gambling debts and conducted private affairs. Despite these efforts, no evidence of foul play was found. Witnesses in the bustling Adelaide and Yonge Street area offered little help. One newsstand operator, Ralph Savine, claimed to have spoken with Small that evening about a delayed newspaper delivery. Police dismissed Savine's account as attention-seeking. Adding to the intrigue, the week of Small's disappearance coincided with a sold-out run of revelations of a wife at the Grand Opera House. Some speculated the play's themes might hold clues, but this theory yielded no results. One figure quickly drew suspicion: John Jack Doughty, Small's former secretary. Doughty vanished the same day as Small, later discovered to have stolen $100,000 in bonds from his employer. After weeks on the run, Doughty was apprehended in the United States and extradited to Canada. Despite extensive interrogation, no evidence linked him to Small's disappearance. He was convicted solely of theft and served a prison sentence. The case took a strange turn in 1921, when a private detective in Des Moines, Iowa, claimed to have found a half-crazed cripple resembling Small. This man reportedly suffered from a gunshot wound, a concussion, and double leg amputation. Though the man allegedly identified himself as Small, inconsistencies in his physical characteristics and lack of evidence rendered the lead inconclusive. In 1936, Ontario Provincial Police Inspector Edward L. Hammond revisited the case. His findings hinted at a conspiracy involving Teresa Small. While she inherited Ambrose's considerable fortune and made large donations to the Catholic Church, no concrete evidence implicated her. Her philanthropy, totaling over £500,000, may have shielded her from further scrutiny. Adding to the mystery, an anonymous confession letter surfaced during this period, signed Reuter, The letter claimed Small had been murdered on December 2nd, 1919. According to its account, his body was dismembered, with parts burned in the Grand Opera House furnace and others buried in Toronto's Rosedale Ravine. Despite the sensational details, investigators found no evidence to support these claims. Some suggest he orchestrated his own disappearance to escape his vices or enemies, living out his days under an assumed identity. Others believe he fell victim to foul play, potentially at the hands of close associates or business rivals. A more sinister hypothesis posits a calculated murder concealed by powerful figures who benefited from his absence. Over a century later, the Grand Opera House remains a silent witness to the mystery. Its darkened hallways and echoing chambers offer no answers. If you liked this case, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this one.